Good evening, good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to another video. Hope you're good. My name is Powers and I'm here to present to you something crazy. I know on this channel I make videos that make people mad, and at the same time, if you understand what I'm talking about and you love Africa, the history we have, so you can understand my videos. So if you're new to this channel and you see this video for the first time and you pick up something, please hit the like button and subscribe. Let's make to 10K after this video, and I know we can make it. Today we're going to discuss about matters, political, like geographical, and misunderstandings, just a little bit of understandings between several countries. So according to the title of my video, and I know everybody must be clicked because of the title, but this video is going to take us into several steps in order for you to understand this video. Eritrean military, you should understand this, is one of the strongest militaries that we have, that people actually underestimate, people don't know. But how did this come to this? That Eritrea stayed back, and they know that in order to survive everything that comes into our situation, we need to build up our military and be strong, then we wait for the rest. One time I read on the clip where people actually, it was an Ethiopian, one of Ethiopian big guys, say big guy in the government, used to be a big guy in the government, say that Eritreans used to be nuns, they used to be maids for Italians, for the Turkish, for Egyptians, and let alone become up as a nation. But when you look at the map, a country is mapped and is recognized by so many UN countries, including the UN itself. That makes it a country of today. But Eritrea knew during all the colonizations that went through the Turkish, the Egyptians, the British, they knew that this time we need to build our nation. Remember, before the British left, this is where the twist came from, and people didn't know why Eritrean decided to know that, no, this is a time where I have to be independent. So when the British came in, they never built anything. Instead, they spoiled everything that they found, which was actually already built. So they left Eritrea hanging, like with no government, just there. They have nobody to help them to administrate the country. So they had to leave it in hands of Ethiopia to help actually to raise and grow up the country. But instead of Ethiopia doing that for the 10 years of the agreement, they didn't do it. They instead say, you know, this has to go away. They have to erase this on the map. And Eritreans were like, yo, we're not going to allow you to do this. Remember, Eritrea were really, really little in numbers back then. And they were really courageous, and they are really strong and ready to do everything. Every Eritrean will tell you that story. Every person, even Ethiopians, some of the soldiers that were captured in the war, actually didn't been killed by Eritreans, tell you their story. So they fought so hard and win their country back, and were actually recognized, and everybody knows that the country is there. But remember, before Eritrea, before Ethiopia, before Uganda, before Tanzania, we were good. Those borders, those are the targets that the colonizers were targeting, because they were helping them to transport every goods that they steal from here to their countries. So this is one of the countries that were located in a beautiful place. The Red Sea, the ports, everything. It was easy for all colonizers. That's why Eritrea is one of the countries that got so many colonizers. Whereas Ethiopia comes in until today, during then, they used that chance to take over Eritrea, and they were like, you know, we are not going to allow you to have your own country because you are no longer Eritrean independent. You have to be part of us. But this had to be done diplomatically. Ethiopia has hurt a lot of countries, has done a lot of things. The Djibouti port they are using right now, I don't know if they are still using it. Like, it's not good at all. Like, if you own a port, you can put your soldiers as security there. But if you don't own a port, you have to go to the terms of the country that own the port. We know, and we all know, every country know that at the end of the day, Ethiopia will come up to the terms where they have to understand and do things diplomatically. Not wars, not fighting. Once Abiy said a country that is developing like Ethiopia and is landlocked will get a port in all means, whether good or bad. But diplomatically, he doesn't allow you to have that diplomatic agreement like freedom. He needs to deploy some soldiers to the port, which is actually not necessary. Remember, Ethiopia, working with the US, tried to build a country called Somaliland, which is actually until today is not recognized by the UN. And it's Ethiopia that recognized this country first, one of the UN countries. You know why? Because they have no access, and they need the access either way. So if they create that country, they will manipulate them and use the port the way they want, which didn't work. They came to Somalia. Somalia were like, yo, you can't do this. And Ethiopia were scared because the friendship between Somalia and Turkey scared them, and they're like, maybe Turkey will bring it. And Somalia and Ethiopia, I think they went to the diplomatic terms in Turkey, and they did that, went out. So back to Eritrea, and they're like, yo, let's go to the Red Sea again. And they are like, we are not going to let you have this port. We need it. We want it. The point is, we don't want this. We need to go on the tables, sit, discuss issues on the matters, and make these things happen. So today and tomorrow and more days to come, Eritrea has already built its army. The few people they have in the country, they have managed to use them as the army to protect, and they are actually willing to protect. I'm not sure that the millions of Eritreans that are there today as soldiers will let the millions of Ethiopians come in. Before there were thousands. Ethiopia had help from the British military tanks, weapons, but these guys fought. And remember, I will always say this in my videos. Even after Eritrea gained independence, Ethiopia had access to the seaport free. Not until 1998-2000 war that Ethiopia were like, no, we have to gain this, to own it, actually to have it in our hands. So the Eritreans actually fought back, and actually that's the last war that Eritrean won. So what do you think? The US can't come in, or the UAE, because remember the UAE and US working together to manipulate Ethiopia to hurt their neighbors. Not only that, there are more that I can bring you in more videos in the future. So if you're new to this channel, just hit the like button and subscribe, and wait for everything, history, evidence, political. Like Africans, we need to stay tight. We need to understand our problems. We need to solve our problems. We do not need anybody to come from there and solve our problems. So I stand with Eritrea at this point. I stand with Somalia. I stand with Djibouti. There's no country called Somaliland like everybody says, but somebody and one organization. And I think today Trump is in power. He can make it. He's a man who does everything possible. And if they do that, I think it will be good for Ethiopia to have a port and a manipulated country that they own to use the port, and they leave Eritrea alone. Eritrea has been through a lot, guys. Nobody knows that the country is there. And the reason is because they are building up something that will blow your mind. And if you try to attack them militarily, bro, you won't come out with the results. My name is Abbas. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you so much for subscribing if you did. And if you didn't, you're going to miss out some more videos to come in the future. So don't go anywhere. Follow me on Instagram, Chimpaz Uptown, Afro Nation, TikTok, Facebook, Afro Nation. Like everything will be very good. And we are actually about to produce our new merchandise, the first ever Afro Nation merchandise we have to share with you. So get ready for that. But most importantly, subscribe.